Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. True strength is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. Being a Sigma male isn't about a label, it's a mindset. It's not about calling yourself a lone wolf or imagining you're above the crowd. It's about how you move through life, calm, adaptable, and focused, even when no one's watching. But here's the catch. Not everyone who claims to be a Sigma truly is. And that's not a bad thing. Real Sigmas don't wear the title like a badge, they live it. This video isn't here to tear you down, it's a wake-up call. It's a chance to reflect on whether you're actually living the Sigma mindset or just chasing an idea of it. If you're willing to be honest with yourself, you'll come away from this stronger, clearer, and better equipped to grow into the person you want to be. So, if you're ready to strip away the hype and learn what really makes someone a Sigma male, stick around. You might just surprise yourself. Number 1, you mistake social awkwardness for independence. Mistaking social awkwardness for independence is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. It's easy to convince yourself that avoiding people means you're some mysterious lone wolf, but the truth is often simpler and harder to swallow. If you dread social situations or feel like you're always misunderstood, that's not independence, it's a lack of skill. A Sigma male isn't someone who hides from people because they're uncomfortable. He's someone who can step into any room, assess the vibe, and decide, on his own terms, whether to engage or retreat. It's about control, not avoidance. The difference lies in choice. A Sigma's solitude isn't a defense mechanism, it's an intentional decision. He knows how to connect when it matters, but he values his time and energy too much to waste it on superficiality. If you find yourself avoiding interactions because you're afraid of awkwardness or rejection, that's not Sigma behavior, it's fear running the show. A Sigma has the confidence to handle small talk, conflict, or deep conversations without losing himself. Building independence starts with brutal honesty. If you can't interact comfortably, work on it. Being socially capable doesn't make you less of a lone wolf. It gives you options. It lets you blend in when needed, charm when it's useful, or fade into the background when that's the smartest move. A real Sigma doesn't retreat because he has to. He retreats because he's already mastered the game and knows when to walk away. True independence comes from mastering both solitude and connection. If you're stuck on the sidelines, mistaking social awkwardness for strength, you're only living half the story. Being a Sigma means owning every situation, not just hiding from the ones that make you uncomfortable. Number 2, you're obsessed with Alpha versus Sigma hierarchies. If you're constantly measuring yourself against alphas or fantasizing about putting them in their place, you're missing the entire point of being a Sigma. Sigmas don't care about climbing to the top of a hierarchy or proving their superiority. They've already decided the whole system isn't worth their energy. While others fight for dominance or recognition, Sigmas focus on their own path, uninterested in the noise of competition. Obsession with hierarchy is a trap. It keeps you tethered to the same framework you claim to reject. If you're always thinking about how you stack up or planning your next power move against an alpha, you're still playing their game. Real Sigmas don't measure success by how they compare to others. They define it for themselves. They're not competing for dominance. They're creating lives that exist outside the rules of the pack entirely. True Sigma behavior is about stepping back, not stepping up. You don't waste energy proving you're better than someone else because you don't need to. Alphas may thrive on attention and control, but Sigmas thrive on freedom. And freedom comes when you stop caring about whether you're above or below someone in a hierarchy that doesn't even matter to you. If you're caught up in proving yourself against alphas, ask yourself why. Are you trying to validate your identity as a Sigma? Are you seeking approval without realizing it? The minute you let go of this obsession, you'll see the truth. Sigmas have no need to compete because they've already won by walking away. Let them have their spotlight. Your power comes from choosing a different game entirely, one where the only person you measure yourself against is who you were yesterday. And number 3, you're too predictable. If people can predict your next move or always know how you'll react, you're not mysterious. You're just predictable. A true Sigma operates on a level that keeps others guessing, not because they're playing games, but because they refuse to follow the obvious path. They're not loud about their plans, nor do they telegraph their intentions. They move with subtlety, making decisions that often seem unexpected but are always highly effective. Predictability makes you easy to control. If others know exactly what buttons to push, how to provoke you, or what you'll do in a given situation, they hold the power, not you. Sigmas, on the other hand, thrive on keeping their cards close. Their strength lies in their ability to adapt, surprise, and stay ahead of the game without broadcasting their every move. It's not about being secretive for the sake of it. It's about maintaining control by being one step ahead. Unpredictability doesn't mean being erratic. It's about having layers to your personality and strategy. A Sigma doesn't react impulsively or wear their emotions on their sleeve. Instead, they observe, calculate, and respond in ways that keep others off balance. This doesn't just protect them. It also ensures they're always playing their own game, not someone else's. If you find yourself reacting in the same way to every situation or following patterns everyone can see, it's time to reassess. A Sigma's unpredictability isn't a gimmick, it's a survival tool. They understand the value of subtlety and the power that comes with being unreadable. If you want to embody the Sigma mindset, start by breaking out of the habits that make you an open book and start moving in ways no one expects. Number 4, you're more talk than action. Talking endlessly about your plans without taking action isn't Sigma energy, it's wishful thinking wrapped in procrastination. A true Sigma doesn't waste time broadcasting their ambitions or seeking validation for their ideas. They know that results speak louder than words, and execution is what separates them from the crowd. If you're more talk than action, you're not being strategic or enigmatic, you're stalling. Sigmas thrive on decisive action. They don't need to announce every move they're about to make because they're too busy making it happen. Their goals aren't just fantasies, they're carefully thought out missions with tangible steps. By the time others hear about their achievements, the work is already done. That's why Sigmas command respect. They let their results do the talking. Constantly talking about your plans without delivering not only drains your credibility, but also exposes your lack of discipline. When you speak too much about what you will do, you lose focus and allow distractions to creep in. A Sigma operates in silence, understanding that energy spent discussing plans is energy taken away from accomplishing them. If you find yourself endlessly explaining, justifying, or hyping your future moves, stop, focus on execution. Let your actions define you, not your words. Sigmas know that the world is full of people who talk big but rarely deliver. They set themselves apart by doing the opposite, acting quietly and letting the results speak louder than any promise could. Want to embody true Sigma energy? Start by closing your mouth and opening your schedule. Trade excuses for discipline and empty talk for deliberate action. The less you say, the more you do, and the more powerful you'll become. Number 5, you follow trends religiously. If you're constantly hopping on trends, whether it's wearing the latest fashion, sharing the newest meme, or parroting the latest hustle culture mantra, you're not a Sigma. You're a follower trying to blend in. True Sigmas don't chase trends because they don't care about fitting into anyone else's mold. Their style, mindset, and values are entirely self-defined, making them immune to the fleeting pull of fads. Following trends isn't just about staying relevant, it's often about seeking validation. When you rely on what's popular to shape your identity, you're essentially outsourcing your individuality. A Sigma doesn't need outside approval to feel confident. They know who they are and their choices reflect their authenticity, not what's currently trending on social media. Sigmas understand that trends are temporary, but substance is timeless. They're not impressed by what's in right now because they're focused on what actually resonates with their core values, whether it's how they dress, the books they read, or how they spend their time. Every decision is intentional and deeply personal. While the masses scramble to keep up, Sigmas stay rooted in their own authenticity. If you find yourself jumping from one trend to the next, ask yourself why. Is it to feel included? To avoid standing out? Real Sigma energy doesn't crave the safety of conformity. It thrives in the freedom of standing apart. To truly embody a Sigma mindset, you need to stop chasing and start creating. Forge your own path, build your own values, and set your own pace. Trends fade, but authenticity lasts, and that's what makes a Sigma unforgettable. Number 6, you can't handle being alone for too long. If the thought of being alone for too long makes you anxious or restless, then you might like the idea of independence more than the reality of it. True Sigmas thrive in solitude, not because they have to, but because they genuinely enjoy their own company. For them, being alone isn't a void to be filled. It's a space to recharge, reflect, and grow. If you find yourself itching for distraction or scrambling for social interaction the moment solitude stretches too far, you're not embodying Sigma energy. You're avoiding yourself. Being alone reveals who you truly are when there's no one to perform for. Sigmas embrace this. They dive into their own thoughts, work on personal projects, or simply sit with themselves without feeling the need to escape. They aren't lonely because their independence isn't an act, it's their default. When you can't handle being alone, it's often a sign that you're uncomfortable with your inner world or dependent on external validation to feel whole. Solitude isn't easy, and it's not meant to be. It's a test of self-sufficiency and emotional stability. Sigmas use this time to sharpen their skills, align with their goals, or simply enjoy the freedom that comes from not having to accommodate anyone else. They don't fear isolation because they know how to turn it into an advantage. If solitude feels suffocating, take a step back and ask yourself why. Are you afraid of what you'll find when there's no one around to distract you? Independence isn't about romanticizing alone time, it's about thriving in it. A true Sigma doesn't seek constant company because they've already found what most people search for in others, a sense of purpose, peace, and self-reliance. Number 7, you're driven by ego, not purpose. If your actions are all about proving something to others, whether it's outshining someone, winning approval, or chasing recognition, you're not driven by purpose. You're a slave to your ego. A Sigma male doesn't live to impress anyone. Their energy is channeled into meaningful goals that align with their core values, not into hollow victories designed to feed their pride. Ego-driven behavior is reactive. It's about responding to external pressures, measuring yourself against others, and chasing validation. Purpose-driven behavior, on the other hand, comes from within. Sigmas are guided by an internal compass. They know what matters to them and pursue it relentlessly, regardless of whether anyone notices. They don't waste energy on one-upmanship or petty rivalries because they've already opted out of the social hierarchy where those games are played. When you're driven by ego, your wins feel empty because they're never enough. There's always someone else to impress or another imaginary standard to meet. Sigmas sidestep this trap by focusing on long-term impact and personal fulfillment. They measure success by how much their efforts contribute to their goals, not by how they compare to others. If you constantly find yourself needing to prove your worth, take a step back. Ask yourself, are you chasing what truly matters, or are you just looking for applause? A Sigma's actions stem from a deep sense of purpose, not from a fragile need to be seen. When you move with purpose, the opinions of others become irrelevant. You're no longer reacting to the world, you're shaping your own. That's the kind of energy that defines a true Sigma. Quiet, unshakable, and entirely self-directed. And number 8, you're too concerned about looking cool. A Sigma's true power doesn't come from looking cool, it comes from being genuine. If you're constantly calculating your every move to seem edgy or mysterious, you're not embodying authentic Sigma energy, you're performing. True Sigmas don't seek an audience. They live by their own rules, independent of external validation or the need to impress others. When you're more concerned with appearing mysterious or aloof, you create a mask that's difficult to maintain. Over time, the need for constant validation through perceived coolness becomes exhausting. Sigmas, on the other hand, are secure in themselves. They don't rely on others' approval because they understand that authenticity speaks louder than a well-crafted image. Coolness is often shallow and fleeting. It relies on surface-level traits and momentary attention. Sigmas transcend that by focusing on depth, on cultivating strength, wisdom, and self-reliance. They understand that trying too hard to fit into someone else's idea of cool only dilutes their true essence. If you find yourself obsessing over how others view you, ask yourself why. Are you seeking acceptance through external validation, or are you grounded in your own self-worth? A Sigma moves through life unbothered by fleeting perceptions. They aren't concerned with how others see them because they're too busy building something meaningful. That's what sets them apart. Not the illusion of coolness, but the authenticity behind their actions. Number 9, You avoid conflict instead of facing it strategically. Avoiding conflict doesn't make you wise or mysterious. It makes you passive. If you dodge tough conversations or let people push you around in the name of keeping the peace, you're not embodying the Sigma mindset. You're just avoiding discomfort. True Sigmas aren't afraid of conflict. They don't seek it out, but when it's unavoidable, they face it head-on with calm, strategic precision. Conflict is inevitable in life, and a Sigma understands this. The difference is in how they handle it. They don't react emotionally or let their ego take over. They assess the situation, decide what's worth their energy, and address the problem directly. Whether it's calling out disrespect, setting a boundary, or making a difficult decision, a Sigma takes action when it's needed. Avoidance, on the other hand, doesn't solve anything. It just delays the inevitable and often makes it worse. Being a Sigma doesn't mean walking away from every confrontation. It means knowing when to walk away and when to stand firm. Letting people walk over you because you don't want drama isn't strength, it's passivity disguised as neutrality. Sigmas aren't doormats, they know their worth and they make sure others know it too, not through loud declarations but through decisive actions. If you constantly find yourself backing down to avoid conflict, it's time to rethink your approach. True independence isn't about sidestepping problems, it's about solving them with intelligence and poise. A Sigma doesn't avoid conflict because they're afraid. They avoid unnecessary drama because they have already mastered the art of resolving what truly matters. If you want to live like a Sigma, stop running from tough conversations and start handling them with the precision and control that defines you. Number 10, your life is a mess. Having a messy life doesn't make you a Sigma, it makes you unprepared. Real Sigmas don't operate in chaos, they master it. If your finances are a train wreck, your living space looks like a war zone, and you're constantly figuring things out, you're not thriving in independence, you're just drifting. A Sigma male may embrace unpredictability, but he never lets his environment control him. Chaos may surround him, but it never consumes him because he takes ownership of every piece of his world. Self-sufficiency is the backbone of the Sigma mindset. That means knowing where your money is going, keeping your space functional, and having a plan, even if that plan changes. A true Sigma doesn't wait for life to hand him clarity, he creates it. If your excuse is, "I work better in a mess," or "I'll figure it out later," you're not a Sigma, you're procrastinating, and procrastination is the enemy of control. Being a Sigma doesn't mean life is perfect, it means you're in charge. Your finances don't have to be overflowing, but they should be stable. Your room doesn't need to look like a showroom, but it shouldn't look like chaos runs the place. It's not about perfection, it's about discipline. When your surroundings are in order, your mind has room to focus on what matters. If your life feels like it's always one step away from falling apart, it's time to stop calling yourself independent and start addressing the cracks in the foundation. A Sigma thrives in any environment because he knows how to take control. Without that foundation, you're just pretending to be a lone wolf while the chaos pulls the strings. Take responsibility, take action, and reclaim your space, inside and out. Surprising signs you're not the Sigma male you think you are. A topic that may stir reflection, but it's one filled with growth and self-awareness. True Sigma males aren't just defined by their desire for independence or mystery. They embody a deeper, more intentional way of living. It's not about fitting into a label or striving for recognition. It's about understanding who you are, how you navigate the world, and the impact you want to leave behind. Each point we've discussed is an opportunity to realign with the essence of what it means to be a Sigma. If you've recognized areas where you fall short, know that this isn't a reflection of failure, it's a chance to refine and grow. A true Sigma thrives on self-mastery, adaptability, and authenticity, and these moments of introspection are steps toward becoming the best version of yourself. The road isn't always easy. It requires honesty, the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths, and the courage to let go of outdated ways of thinking. But that's what sets a Sigma apart, embracing growth, even when it means stepping outside your comfort zone. So, if you've found yourself challenged by some of these surprising signs, take heart. You have the power to change the narrative. Trust in your ability to evolve, to rise beyond surface-level perceptions, and to create a life that reflects your true essence. Be intentional, be relentless, and be unapologetically you. That's the essence of a Sigma, a leader who walks his own path with confidence and purpose. Thank you for watching, and God bless.